Hey everybody, I'm back for another webcam cover review. As you know from the other reviews, there's a lot of confusion in the market today about webcam covers, and I wanted everybody to know what webcam cover is the best one on the market. So I have done reviews on all of them. This will be the last one so far, with the exception of stickers, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in another review. But today we will be doing the review on the C-Slide version 1.0 versus the iPatch. And as you know, I go through 5 different rounds where we discuss size, because size always matters when it comes to webcam covers. We go over the thickness, the functionality, the durability, our bump test, the total score, and then we go over a pricing comparison. So like I said, we'll be going over the C-Slide and the iPatch. So first we have here the C-Slide in its 1.0 in its packaging and the actual unit itself, and then we also have the iPatch in its packaging and the actual unit itself. Those are the two today we will be reviewing. Okay, so I have unpackaged both units, and we will start first with the C-Slide. And the first round we're going to do is talking about size. And with the size, we use the chart that I've created. And let me just zoom this out here. And this chart identifies all the different, well, not all, but a whole bunch of different laptops and desktops and even a TV out there that have webcams. And as you can see, there are lots of different sizes of web cameras. So we have both of them, and if you'll notice on this HP Envy, the HP Envy is the smallest laptop when it comes to frame size at the top of the laptop. It's very, very small, and it has a standard traditional size web camera, which is a 3/16 size. But most laptops are slowly but surely getting larger and larger with the size of their web cameras. I guess that's going to be due to quality. So you can see that the C-Slide is slightly too large for the HP Envy, but it still will work with it. I've tested it over at Best Buy, and the iPatch you can see is a perfect fit there. It's very small and works quite nicely on that size. So let me just go through and show this to you here. So as I drop the C-Slide down to the Toshiba, you can see with the 5/16, which is a huge camera, works no problem. 1/8 camera, which is really tiny. The Samsung we drop down, which has a black lip at the top of the laptop, which makes it very difficult for some of the webcam covers to cover because of that lip. But the C-Slide, you can see, works just fine. On that 1/4" camera, we've got a 5/16 camera on the Toshiba and the Lenovo. The MacBook, it works fine. The Mac desktop, it works fine on that 1/4" camera. The 3/8 camera on the HP Pavilion G7, and then we go into the desktop of the HP Pavilion, and they've got a 1/2" camera on that one. So there's some slight blockage on the bottom and the top there, as you can see. But then we also go down to the Samsung TV. And if you look here, as I put this in place, you know, it still fits quite nicely on the Samsung TV. And this is the actual frame of where the camera sits on top of the TV, but it still works quite nicely. So set that aside, and let's look at the HP Envy. Now, one thing to know about the iPatch is it's a magnet. So it's got the cover, and it's got the base. So I'm going to take off the cover just so you can see the base. And you can see this camera, this hole fits that 3/8 web camera. Okay. But if I take it down to the 5/16, you can see that that webcam cover is not going to work for that laptop. Nor is it going to work for, or it will work for this one, for the 1/8. It won't work well for this Samsung because of that plastic lip that is at the top. The 5/16 camera, it's not going to work. The 3/16 camera, it will. The Mac desktop 1/4" camera, you know, doesn't look like it's going to work. It's going to have some coverage. The 3/8 camera definitely not going to work. The 1/2 inch Pavilion never going to work. And then obviously the Samsung on the TV, it's going to work just fine. So when it comes to size, come over here to the score sheet. I've given a size score based off the unit size itself, as well as the camera hole size. I've given the C-Slide a 9 and the iPatch a 7. Okay, so let's go through our next round, which is the thickness round. And you can see that I have a simple needle here. What I want to do here is I want to compare the size of each unit to the size of a needle. So as you can see here, zoom this in a little bit, you can see this unit is almost as thick, or the base is just a slightly thicker than the needle, but the slide is actually the same size, or if not a little thinner than the needle. That's the C-Slide. Then we have the iPatch, and as you can see, let's grab these two together, and let's see if I can get that here on the screen. So there are two magnets here stuck together, and they're just slightly a little bit larger than the needle. So that gives you a little idea of how thick it is. So very, very thin still. So when it comes to thickness, I have scored the C-Slide 1.0 and the iPatch both a 10. Alright, so on to the functionality test. Okay guys, let's talk about the functionality test. So we've got the two units here, and we'll start here with the C-Slide. We'll see how this works. As you can see, the C-Slide is made of plastic, and it's got two double-sided sticky tape there that you would apply to your laptop. And it slides to open, and you slide to close it, slide to open, slide to close. You can see it's got this little ridge here on the end, so it helps to grab it and slide it. These come in black, silver, and white. Then you've got the iPatch here, and the iPatch is two magnets stuck together. And I'm not so sure about color choices, but they basically slide to open and then slide to close. So they are two magnets, and it also has on the back side here a double-sided tape. So let's see how they work on an actual laptop. Alright, I have both units installed on the laptop, and this is the Toshiba laptop. And you can see on this, I've actually had this C-Slide installed for over a year now, so it's been installed for quite a while. So you slide to open, exposes the camera, you slide it to close it, closes the camera. Very easy to use, very sturdy, not going to go anywhere, and it's going to stay on. Then you've got the iPatch. You slide to open, you slide to close, slide to open, slide to close, which is actually a magnet, as you can see, and it just covers there. So when it comes to functionality, they're both quite similar on functionality, but one big complaint I have, and I've been using computers for a while, is why would anybody create a product that has a magnet that goes onto a laptop? You know, it's not a great idea to have magnets next to your computer, especially if they're going to drop down and then fall into, let's pull this back, fall into the keyboard and get lost. You know, not a great concept in my mind. So, with that said, let's go ahead and give you my review. Alright, so when it comes to functionality, I have given the C-Slide a 10 and the iPatch a 7. One, for a couple reasons. One, it's a magnet, and two, that magnet isn't that powerful, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the bump test. Next, let's talk about durability. So in the durability test, as you can see here, this high-grade plastic, you can bend it, you know, it's fine. It's made in a high-grade plastic. It's very durable itself, and it's going to last a long time, and it's going to match right in with your laptop. This iPatch is also probably quite durable. It's made out of a magnet, as you can see. You can bend it and so forth. The biggest problem I think it's going to have is this two magnets coming apart. You stick it in your laptop, the bag, the laptop gets bumped, you might lose the magnet, the cover, and so forth. But I will demonstrate that in the bump test. So let me give you my rating on the durability. So as the durability, I would rate the C-Slide 1.0 a 10 and the iPatch a 3. And the reason why I do that is because of the separate piece magnet that's not connected to each other. And I feel that you're going to lose that magnet on a regular basis, and thus the product will be no good. You have to throw it away and buy another one. So let's go to our bump test. Okay, so let's go through the bump test, and as you remember from my other reviews, when it comes to the bump test, it's a test that's designed for longevity of the product, meaning I'm at my office, I get bumped, my laptop gets bumped or knocked around, I'm in the airplane sitting down and a chair falls back and smacks my laptop bounces around in my laptop bag. Am I going to lose the product, or is the product going to stay good and I'm not going to lose the product? So I'm just going to give the laptop a smack in the back here, and I'm going to tap it, and you can see that they're both still staying. So when I open the iPatch here, I think you'll see something different. I'll just get a tap, and just like I thought, that magnet flew off. So here I have that magnet piece still, and it flew off the other magnet. So that's definitely going to be a flaw with the iPatch. Alright, so when it comes to the bump test and the score, I have given the C-Slide 1.0 versus the iPatch 10, and I rated the iPatch a 5. And the reason why I did that is because I think you're going to lose a lot of magnets, thus you're going to have to buy the product over and over and over again. So the total scores, I give a total score of a 49 to the C-Slide version 1.0, the iPatch a 32. And one more important thing here, and a disclosure that I'll put there at the end of the video, is to note that the iPatch is in direct violation of our US patent, and they actually shouldn't even be sold here in the USA. But I don't think you'll be buying them anyway, because when you look at the pricing comparison, the C-Slide 1.0 is $4.95, 0 in shipping, total cost $4.95, and that's a total savings of 45% over the iPatch, which cost $4.99 with $4 shipping, to a total of $8.99. Not to mention, with all the loss of magnets, you're going to have to buy this iPatch over and over and over again. So don't take my word for it. Do the research yourself. Go out if you like to and buy both products and test them out. But either way, make sure you cover your laptop.